Hello and welcome to North Star Stamper. I'm Sue Kramer. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator and I live in Minnesota. And today, let's see if I can find myself. I record this in a private Facebook group, but I am going to watch myself on my computer to make sure it's recording properly. There it is. Okay. But I know I won't have comments, so that's kind of sad. I do love doing the live so I can interact with my live audience. And I do look at comments from both the live, obviously, and the recorded. So leave me a comment and let me know where you're watching from. I think we're good to go. The reason I am recording this is today is my wedding anniversary. Tony and I have been married for 30 years today. Very exciting. So we are going to church to celebrate our marriage, and then we're going out for dinner. And I don't want to be rushed. I don't know. I could be home by 7:30 Central Time tonight. But anyway, I thought I would pre-record. And I'm using some new products that will be available with the new annual catalog come May 2nd. The Beautiful Balloons bundle. So here's the stamp set and the dies. And I have them all die cut. I will show you what they look like. If you have your new annual catalog, I can't show you the page yet, but you can look it up if you have it. It's part of the Bright and Beautiful Sweet collection, and that is on pages 14 and 15. There is some pattern paper. They put it with this bundle, but there's no balloons on the paper, so it's kind of interesting. And the colors are, I'm actually using two of those colors today. So I forgot to order that pattern paper. So there's two different pattern papers that coordinate with this bundle as part of the Bright and Beautiful Suite. Again, pages 14 and 15 of that new annual catalog. I've been using this a little bit, and I've really enjoyed it. It's fun. So last Friday's blog post, I used this on two different cards. So when you're done with this video, go to northstarstamper.com. And my most recent blog post from last Friday, I share two cards that are very different than the ones I'm doing today. Oh, that's the back side. So when I get new stamps in, well, especially the dies, I want to die cut them and see how they look. So that's what I did here. And then I try the stamps, and then how do the stamps coordinate with the dies, and this is what we get. These two I did not use my Stampin' Pierce mat, which I have here. Well, this is from the now retired Stamparatus, but a Stampin' Pierce mat would work too. So I don't have good images on these solid images, but I used it here. So see the difference between those and these. So using a cushion under your photopolymer, these are clear stamps, makes a big difference. So if you're not getting good images, put something under there. These are very interesting dies. So this one just cuts these slits into your paper, and then I cut it out, and I made myself a note that this piece, when cut out pretty close to the die cut, is 1 1/8 by 6, and then the tag, which is so fun with those die cuts in there, the stars and the little confetti, is 1 1/2 by 3, and that includes this little blip here. So very fun. So when I die cut this, I thought, well, that's kind of interesting. You can weave ribbon into it. I believe it's intended to make ruffles for our cards, and this is what it looks like. Let me see if you can see. So these are all die cut. In the catalog, they do show you this with that pattern paper that coordinates, and it's easier to see the ruffles. Oh, there you can see. See the ruffles? Very fun. And I gave you some options here for weaving. This is 1 every 5, and this is every 2, and I kind of like this. You can see more of the ribbon, and here it is at the end with every going in and out of every slot. That was a little bit of a work, so I wouldn't do this on swap cards where I'm making 10 or 20 or 50 of them, but I would for 1 or 2 special birthday cards. So I haven't used this tassel yet. I haven't used the stars yet. Lots of fun sentiments. I love this happy birthday. This is a very large stamp, and I'll show you using it today. They do recommend the I block, which is this really large one. And if you don't have this, I have a trick for you on how you can still use this stamp It's hard to get the whole image if you don't have the big block, but I will show you how I used it on a card. Very fun stamp set. So even if you just get the stamps, I'm going to show you a fun card using that. I also wanted to use some new cardstock and new inks. So I am using the brand new Bubble Bath, which is a very pale pink. So the color on my pad isn't quite, and this is how it stamps very nicely. And then Berry Burst is returning. Where did it go? I know I had it. There we are. So I'm getting smarter in my with wisdom here as I age, right? So it was an in color from 2017 to 2019, and then they just brought it back, and it'll be back in May, and it's part of the Brights collection. It's called Berry Burst. So that's kind of fun. So if you are familiar with Stampin' Up! Colors, I thought I would do a real quick comparison, and I'm just going to compare the Bubble Bath. And you can see I have some other colors here. These are other current colors that I kind of like with it. I thought you might like to see it compared to Petal Pink. This is so orange and looks apricot or peachy to me. There it is with Melon Mambo. I think it goes really well with Lemon Lolly. One of you received a card with those, and Highland Heather was a bright, fun birthday card. Fresh Freesia goes very nicely with it. And then, like I said, Berry Burst. So Berry Burst is the other color I'm using with that today. So real quick, my first thought was Bubble Bath looks just like the retired Pink Pirouette, which retired in 2018. This looks really orange to me compared to that. So you might be familiar with Pale Plum or Blush Blossom. Pretty in Pink looks much brighter. I always thought this was a pale pink, but this is even more pale. Rose Romance was discontinued in 05. Pixie Pink, very bright. And the last one, which I think looks really nice with it, this was an in color from 2019 to 2021, and that was Rococo Rose. Those would be very nice. If you have Rococo Rose, you might want to add some Bubble Bath to your supplies. So, enough on colors. Let's get busy. To come up with my colors today, I stamped the Bubble Bath, Melon Mambo. I thought Flirty Flamingo would go with it, and then the Berry Burst. And so I decided there's nothing wrong with putting Melon Mambo. I think that looks great, but for the look I was going for tonight, I decided to do Berry Burst, and then that's a -1, so I stamped and stamped again without re-inking. So I call that -1 when you stamp without re-inking. So that's what we're doing today, and I will show you the card I have done first. Just a quick, simple layer. It looked beautiful without those die-cut balloons. If you don't have the die cuts, if you don't have a machine, you could easily, if you're good at fussy cutting, you could easily cut the stamped balloons out and make this card quickly. I even stamped on the inside, and I have envelopes. We're going to stamp those today too. So let's get busy. Let's get busy. I have some of them already on my blocks. And make sure I don't grab, there's my envelopes. So I have, here, I'm going to start with the card bases, because we're going to make 2 cards. 8.5 by 11. The first thing I'm going to do is score, because I want these top folding cards. So I want it 4 1/4 by 11.5, but I want it scored. This is my scoring blade. Scored at 5 1/2, and I go quite a few times, make a nice score. Turn it the other way and cut at 4 1/4, and I hold my paper down, and I get very nice card bases ready to go. Let's fold those and burnish those with our bone folder, making sure they're lined up here before I do that. All right, next I need my white. I have a whole bunch of white. Uh-oh. Where did it go? Oh, there it is. On top of another stamp set. Okay, these are 3 3/4 by 5. I think we'll just start stamping. I'm going to put my mat underneath. I don't want to stamp on top of that Stampin' Up, so I'm going to put the smooth side up. These solid images. I'm just going to get these both open. If you look at that, to me it looks really gray, kind of like Blushing Bride did. It does not stamp gray at all. It's a very lovely, lovely pink. All right, so I'm going to start with that streamer. You see it's a very large stamp. Let's say you don't have this block, so I'm not going to use it. So I'm going to take my D block, which you probably have. You have the E block, that would work. You can get almost the whole stamp if you go at an angle there. But I think most of you do have a D block, because that is part of Paper Pumpkin. And I'm going to go corner to corner to get the longest amount. And then when I ink it up, I'm just going to ink what's under my block and then not even worry about this. But you have to be careful not to get ink on that. So I'm going to start here. Let's bring our card in so you can kind of see where we're going. So I'm going to ink with Bubble Bath and just ink on one corner. Ink as much as I can, and I'm going to ink, do the other corner. Isn't that, that's so pretty? I love this color. One of my new favorites. So I know a lot of other demonstrators do color comparisons and do a whole video on color. I might do that come May. I haven't decided yet. But for now, I'm just going to concentrate on one color at a time. So here, oh, I did this one different. Oh well. We are going to, I can see I had bubbles in my inked up, so I can see there what it's going to look like, and see as I let it sit, it's bubbling up, and I have to make sure I don't get that corner onto my project. Let's just go like this. I have ink on this corner too. Let's use a paper towel or Kleenex, or actually it's a napkin. And then I'm going to go like that, just to give us some streamer effect. So that's Bubble Bath and Berry Burst. All right. We're going to stamp some balloons. So we're going to take this really big balloon. Again, it's photopolymer, so I can see what it looks like before I stamp it. I'm going to stamp off once to get a lighter color. Oh, that's really nice. I have funny looking. If you take your time and look at it before you stamp and practice, that works too. Look at the different ranges of pinks I'm getting just from these two inks. So one more. I like to do things in threes, and that looks good. I'm going to overlap it, and we're going to get even more colors onto our card. All right, and you know I like to do things in odd numbers. I didn't with the banners, but that's okay. So I'm going to do some Bubble Bath in these tiny little ones and just put a few of them all around, overlapping. I have this one going off the edge. Let's put one way up here. Put one there. Let's do a couple. You see, I just went to my darker ink. I know my light ink is not going to harm my dark ink, so I didn't even clean it. But if I were going from my dark ink to my light ink, I definitely want to clean off my stamp. All right, so I want a nice even coverage. There we go. Let's just put one right there. Again, overlapping, careful not to get my ink on my paper from the corner of my block. Isn't that pretty? I love how they're all interacting, and it looks like I have a whole bunch of different colors there. Let's add a sentiment. And on this one, I used my ever-famous favorite Happy Birthday from the Artistically Inked. This is still in the next catalog, which I'm so happy for. But since we have a new stamp set here with a really nice Happy Birthday, we will use that. Use the smallest block that fits well. All right, this happens to be a C block. I'm going to ink up in Berry Burst. Put that in the corner. A lot of ink around my edges. I'm just being messy today. These pads are brand new, so they're really juicy. All right. Keeping clean there. All right, and then we can put this right on there and have a simple stamping. Stampin' Up! Considers simple stamping stamps, ink, and paper, and that's all I've used so far is stamps, ink, and paper. We can add a little bit more paper. You can see I've die cut from here. our cardstock prices are increasing, so I'm much more aware of how much cardstock I'm using. You can add another layer just like that. Look how these colors are interacting. That's so fascinating to me. I think I'm going to do that. We're going to use some adhesive. And then this will be my simple stamping card. I'm recording this in the morning. I'm still drinking coffee, so if my voice sounds funny, I think I need a drink. I'm going to make sure that's adhered to my bubble bath ink, or cardstock. And I'm going to put some more adhesive. So bubble bath and berry burst are going to be a fun combination for all those bright and cheerful. That color combination is just so fascinating how it looks so different. You could add some rhinestones or not. Very fun card. So there's one. I do have my second piece and another piece of white. We're going to do the same. Oh, actually, I forgot. Let's go back. I have a streamer, the string. And I'm actually going to do it right on my card. I'm going to turn it around. I don't want it. And let's see. Where's the piece? I don't want it to go into my happy birthday, so I'm going to cover up my happy birthday. And this one's going to have a shorter streamer. So there I use this as a mask so that I didn't stamp over my happy birthday. I thought it would be a little hard to read. We want all of them to have tails or strings, I guess is what these would be. I have one more up here. And just turning it around puts that little curly Q at a different place on each of the balloons, or some of the balloons. So there, that looks better. That looks much more festive, doesn't it? All right. We're going to do that again. That's why I left everything on my stamped inks. Let's get out that big one. Since I showed you how to use it with the small one, you can see all of these are staining since I'm using these bright inks. We're going to go corner to corner, or corner down. Clean that off. Maybe just one. That works. I'm going to let's put some more die cuts. I have a whole bunch of die cut here in my bubble bath and white. This one, I just love this background. So we're going to use it. I hadn't planned on this, but since I have it die cut, and we're going to put, actually we'll show you what bubble bath looks like stamped on bubble bath. Hopefully you can see this. Just a little subtle, but very pretty. Let's stamp. Is this big one? Yes, perfect. We're going to stamp Berry Burst. I'm going to stamp off. I just don't like it that full. Hold it for a second. Let the ink transfer. And look at the variation in colors. Isn't that beautiful? All right, so let's build our card here. I don't want to cover that up so much. There's another big one that's just a single. That's too big though. Let's use a couple of these and maybe a white one. Again, odd numbers, so that's 3. So I guess I only want 2 of these. So let's stamp them and see what we end up with. Let's do a full strength Berry Burst. And decisions, so many options. Actually, not that many. I only have 2 inks and 2 papers. And, oh, I guess I'm doing Berry Burst. No, I don't want Berry Burst. Clean that off really well. Bubble bath. Oh, I know what I can do with my extra one. Put it on the inside. Oh, I didn't do that on there. All right. I also have a tag die cut out of bubble bath, and we're going to use Happy Birthday on here. sure I'm on my mat. I didn't stamp perfectly, but that's okay. Isn't that cute? All right. Do I want to stamp balloons on there? I think I do. I want lots of balloons on this card, just like the other one. This one's already dirty. You can see that line. This line here is because I stamped this off, so the line here is that line there. But that's okay. I can cover it up with one of my die cuts. And just keep going on. Keep moving. All right. Let's do, I'm going to stamp off. That full strength is just so, I know I'm just going to cover it up with that. And my little balloon. Just ink, and then filling in where I want my balloons. Take our tail again, our streamer. And this time I have that die cut that I'm going to put my happy birthday sentiment on. So I can just stamp my streamers. Or my, oh, what do you call these? One more right there. I find it fascinating how those colors combine. And it looks so bright. All right. We have, here's another piece that I had die cut from. So I'm going to layer it just like that. I think I'll do that right now. So you can keep them simple. You can step it up or go somewhere in between. And it's fun to do both. Again, this is 3 3/4 by 5 is my white. My bubble bath is 4 by 5 1/4, so 1/4 inch bigger. And then there's my card base. I'll go ahead and put that on. So I'll stamp some light white layers for the inside and my envelopes. I'm always looking for more. Just have adhesive on there. I do from my layers. All right, let's go just like that. All right. Let's have that one way up there. And this one right there. Oh, cute. And I'm going to pop some of them up with dimensionals. I think that ink is making me nervous a little bit. It's like, I don't want to get in the ink. Make everything pink today. This one I'll lay flat. I kind of liked it under the big one. This one will pop up with a bunch of dimensionals. Do you make birthday cards? Do you make a lot of birthday cards? I have started sending them to all my relatives. Well, Tony's and my siblings and parents, in-laws, nieces, nephews, and now nieces and nephews' children. This is not coming off. Slowly. Oh, there it is. I can cover that up with my sentiment anyway, but let's try to get it as clean as I can. Nope. So that is going to go right there. Let's do one more. Let's put that on. Oh, I need some. I don't like tags that have empty holes. Sorry, I need to grab. Let's grab some. Not finding what I want. My gold trim. Oh, it's going to have to wait. Oh, I can't find it that quick. Or silver. I think I'll put some silver trim there. You'll have to go look at my, when I post this. Oh, actually, it'll be in the preview on Facebook and about Facebook. The preview of YouTube will show this card complete with the silver twine. Let's put that one right there. Like I said, I will add silver twine in and adhere that. A couple things yet. Let's stamp some balloons for the inside. Let's do a couple of these with that's for the inside of one card. And we can stamp these first since I have it. Stamp off, make it a little lighter. That's for the inside of the second card. And I have envelopes. Let's just make everything coordinate, right? We have it. We'll use it. I like that little swirly on there. I'm going to need more envelopes. But you get the idea. Stamp off, clean it, because I'm switching to my lighter ink, which I think I just contaminated. I did. I didn't clean off that swirl. You get the idea, though. All right. This is good. I know you like when I make, not mistakes, but when I goof, and you like to see how I fix it. So I inked up this, oh, now I'm flustered. I inked up this stamp on here without cleaning the berry burst off first, and you can probably see there's berry burst on there. I'm just going to take a paper towel or napkin here and kind of blot it just to get that up. I don't have the reinkers for these yet. I was going to wait till May to get them, but I will reink this. There we go. Just blot it up. When I reink it, it'll be less noticeable. So that's what I do when I forget to clean a stamp. When I'm changing colors, I can finish these off. I think it's interesting that that is all interacting, I guess, or yeah, is that the right word? My layers on the inside. So thank you for joining me. Happy stamping. Again, these products are available to customers May 2nd. If you don't want to wait, it's only a couple weeks, but if you don't want to wait, it's available to demonstrators now, and you could put it on your starter kit. That's what we call it when you place an order to become a demonstrator. So these products could be part of your starter kit, and you could join my team. I go by North Star Stamper, so my team is the Polaris Stamping Team. We get together at least once a month just to stamp. I know not everybody wants to build a business, so we just stamp, and then I talk with the rest of my team that are trying to build businesses. I talk with them regularly to see how I can assist them. There's our cards. Oh, this one needs, okay, this one is going to get that. Like, it needs a sentiment. There we go. Happy stamping. Thanks for joining me. Take care. Have a great day. Have a great week. I take requests if there's something you want to see, some color combination you want me to play with and share with you on a Monday video, let me know. I'd love to show you what you want to see. Take care, everybody. Have a great week.